Good morning, St. Peter's. Our theme for today is connect. So it's time to put on your thinking caps and do some connecting. We might even figure out why you're wearing those bows, but we'll come back to that. So what about connections? An example of a profound connection is recorded in the Gospel of John. In the upper room where Jesus institutes the Last Supper, he predicts the betrayal of Judas, the denial of Peter, and he tells his disciples that he will be with them for only a little longer. The disciples are confused and do not understand, and so in John chapter 14, beginning with verse 16, Jesus says this, "And I will ask my Father, and he will give you another advocate to help you and be with you forever, the Spirit of truth. The world cannot accept him because it neither sees him or knows him, but you know him, for he lives with you and will be in you. I will not leave you as orphans, I will come to you. Before long, the world will not see me anymore, but you will see me. Because I live, you also will live. On that day, you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you." Talk about connections. Let's listen to those words again. On that day, you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you. Jesus continues in verses 25 and 26. "All this I have spoken while I was still with you, but the Advocate, the Holy Spirit, whom the Father will send in my name, will teach you all things and will remind you of everything I have said to you." And as promised, on Pentecost, 50 days after his resurrection, a violent rushing wind came from heaven and tongues of fire rested on their heads. They were filled with the Holy Spirit. We celebrated Pentecost on June 8th. As we do every year, 50 days after Easter. The gifts of the Holy Spirit were prophesied in chapter 11 of Isaiah, verse 2. "The Spirit of the Lord shall rest on him," him meaning the promised Messiah, Emmanuel. "The Spirit of wisdom and understanding, the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge, piety, and fear of the Lord." As Jesus was blessed with these gifts by his Father, every believer is blessed with the same gifts by the Holy Spirit. Wisdom, the gift of good judgment, common sense, and thoughtful reflection. Understanding is the gift of intelligence and enlightenment, to have insight and discern meaning. Counsel is right judgment, the ability to discern right from wrong. Might is fortitude, moral strength, courage, determination, patient endurance, and resiliency. Knowledge is the ability to master a wide spectrum of information and put it to good use for constructive purposes. Fear of the Lord is awe, reverence, and respect for God, gladly offering praise, worship, and adoration to God alone. And piety, the only gift not part of Isaiah's original list, is personal holiness, the ability to live obedient to God's will. I've been to the Beloved Gallery here in Marble Falls 4 different times. I'm planning to go again next month with some friends that are visiting from Iowa. How many of you have been to the Beloved Gallery? All right, some of you have. When a docent shows you into the gallery section, they will show you on your right this beautiful wall of granite. It's blue and it's supposed to represent moving, falling water. And on your left, the docent will tell you about a bench, a marble bench, and on the front side of it, there are 7 indentations, just carved into the marble, round indentations. And they'll tell you that that is representative of the 7 gifts of the Spirit. I think that's beautiful. And if you haven't been there, you should go and see it. Gifts of the Spirit are also referred to in the New Testament. 1 Corinthians 12, 4 through 6 reminds us that there are different kinds of gifts, but they are all given to believers by the same Spirit. There are different ways to serve, but they all come from the same Lord. There are different ways the Spirit works, but the same God is working in all these ways and in all people. In John 15:5, Jesus uses a metaphor of a grapevine to teach his disciples about remaining connected to him for spiritual life and fruitfulness. Jesus is the true vine, and we are the branches depending on him for life and spiritual nourishment. This connection enables us to bear the fruits of the Spirit. Fruits are the result of the Spirit's work in a believer's life, reflecting God's character. Galatians tells us the fruits of the Spirit are love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Therefore, gifts are abilities that the Holy Spirit gives believers to serve the church and others, while the fruit of the Spirit are characteristics of Christ that grow in a believer as they abide in the Spirit. So there is a connection between gifts of the Spirit and the fruits of the Spirit. And according to 1 Peter 4, verses 10 and 11, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace. So, whether it's old school Tinker Toys, modern Legos, or good old-fashioned jigsaw puzzles, connections are important to make things stronger, complete, beautiful, and understandable. So let's continue to connect the dots. So just why are you wearing those bows? Why the variety of colors? What's the connection? Where do you usually put a bow? On a gift. So yes, you are each a unique gift because you have received the gifts from the Holy Spirit who lives in you. Remember the profound connection from John's Gospel where Jesus says, "On that day, you will realize that I am in my Father, and you are in me, and I am in you." And because of that connection, we are called to service, and there's a myriad of ways to serve. So if someone asks you today, "Why are you wearing that bow?" tell them you are a gift. And perhaps if you put that bow on your dresser or windowsill above your sink or a shelf when you get home today, it will remind you of your connection to the Spirit and invite you to consider all the unique ways you can bear fruit and serve the Lord with gladness. Thank you.